really wanted to yap about something today, so I'm gonna do it while bleaching my brows. Y'all have already seen me do this here before, but it's different because we're gonna talk at the same time. And let's see if I can actually do this.
Look how bright this is. I feel like it's really red.
Q-tips, Vaseline, bleach stuff, and a spoolie. So I was inspired to make a video on what we owe our friends, inspired by Sarah Pan's video, What We Owe Our Families. And while that video talked a lot about like success and what that looks like as 20-somethings and what we literally owe our family monetarily and things, I wanted to do a video on what we owe our friends, because I don't know if y'all relate, but I think there is a Gen Z friendship crisis, along with male loneliness epidemic. Male loneliness epidemic is definitely a greater patriarchal problem, and I also think that the Gen Z friendship crisis is related to this. So I think this crisis involves like heightened individuality, flaking on each other, kind of like assuming the worst of each other. I don't know if that's just like a being in your 20s type of thing. I feel a lot of people are still like perpetuating shit from our childhoods and like figuring it out in these relationships. We're all just like going through something in terms of like friendships. So I just wanted to speak on it. My credentials are that I am a 20-something Gen Zer with friends, and who has been a friend, who has been a bad friend, and who has also been a good friend. So I really wanted to talk about like my life in San Francisco versus LA and friendships around that. Let's get into it. This is where I attended school and lived. I moved there 2016 to 2023. I'm sure y'all have heard me talk about that on this channel, probably, but it's been a stark difference from LA. I feel like in SF, I was literally just like a college student figuring my shit out, first time being independent. I was a pretty like, honestly, I would say codependent friend. I was also a very like sensitive person at the time. I think I'm still pretty sensitive, but I don't think I owned it as much when I was in college. Like I kind of just took a lot of things personal. I also like partied. That probably didn't help at all either. My bleach. Y'all need to watch this video, but there's this video by Amy Lee, who I actually ran into at a cafe here in LA, because she's from here, and I watched her back in the pandemic, and she has this video on like friendships, and one of the things that she talked about, she was like talking shit about her friend with her brother, and her brother was like, dude, you sound like a bitch, the way that you're talking about this person, like why are you talking about her like that? And obviously that's like butchering what she said, but the lesson from that, friendships are your mirrors. And so yeah, I did talk a lot of shit back then, and like I wasn't the best friend. I was in a Filipino organization, so just like perpetuating a lot of intergenerational trauma and like attachment things to each other. We took the information we had and we did our best, you know, like we're all going through college, we're doing really big things for our future and like trying our best to like get good grades and extracurriculars and all that. So friendships were really hard, I think, and I was in a codependent relationship where I saw my partner like literally every day for almost 3 years. That was not good on my mental. If y'all want to reference my codependency and like monogamy video, you can, because I feel like I learned so much about codependency through this darn book. Please watch that video if you want to learn more about my codependency journey. Really like coming to light in my friendships now, where I'm noticing like the different patterns and like observing my thoughts around friends who I'm close to. So I don't remember which developer I used. Do you guys remember if I used the 20 or the 10? So basically the lesson that I learned in college, and especially like being cooped up in the pandemic, I actually read Radical Acceptance and Daring Greatly. Radical Acceptance is a book by Tara Brach. I think that paired with Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. I love Brene Brown, but I will be critical of her because she is a white lady in the psychology space. So, but she did help me a lot in the pandemic. And those books basically like highlighted how vulnerability I mean, Daring Greatly, it was about vulnerability and honesty and how we kind of owe ourselves that. And especially after my grandma died, like the radical acceptance of that, and coupled with like my mental health journey, is just like something so vital to what I learned, that we owe our friends like vulnerability, honesty, and communication, like communicating to the best of our abilities if we can. In my queer friendships and queer journey, like the communication piece was just so important. I like to be as straightforward as possible. I'm also a Virgo moon, so I love with my feelings out in the open and like being very concise if possible. But I also am acknowledging as I'm growing up that not everyone communicates that way, and I can't be mad at that because it's not personal. It's still something I'm working through. I know everyone communicates differently, and I need to kind of accept that. Also, this consistency is not looking good. I think I need to mix this more. Yes, relationships are a mirror. You are a result of like the 5 closest people around you. You like those people and you hang out around them because you see the good in them, and if you can see the good in them, you can see the good in yourself, or the traits that you like about them, you also like about yourself. And Amy Lee's videos really made me turn inward and be like,
damn, I'm the problem. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a really big wake-up call, especially after like my breakup with that long relationship that I have talked about before. So that is my life in San Francisco. I'm also going to pause this video and mix this even more because, oh, why did I do that? It's getting a little hard to mix and talk at the same time, and I don't want to spill like last time. The thing that I learned in San Francisco is just like, in my friendships in San Francisco, was just like, stop flaking so much. I feel like I flaked down people even more in San Francisco because I was so burnt out, but also just like other reasons that aren't excuses. But I think now that I live in LA, I have more vigor for life, and I'm kind of like, oh, never really regret meeting up with that new friend, or like trying this new coffee spot with a friend, or literally just like showing up for myself and others. Like, it's been difficult but fulfilling, to say the least. Like, I never really regret it because I kind of just go with my gut about people I want to meet up with now. Transition to when I started living in LA, which was literally like last year. So the first thing I wrote here was less Filipino friends, LOL. Maybe there is a correlation between like the different types of relationships I had, but I did feel like I resonated with a lot of my Filipino friends, which is probably why we like trauma bonded, which, by the way, I was called in and out on, was the toxic friend sometimes, and people have called me in, which I'm grateful about.
I'm not making this out of being like, I'm a better friend than all of you guys.
Something that I've been saying to myself over and over recently, especially for like working and like commuting everywhere.
Since I don't drive or have a car.
Surprise, surprise, if y'all didn't know that. I'm saying this thing that's like, do it sleepy and do it regardless of how you feel, because you probably want to do it. Not even in like a capitalist way, but more so like like I said earlier, like I never regret trying out a new place. Oh, I never regret like trying out a new place or like going out with a new friend, you know? Even though I'm sleepy, like I am gonna show up to my walking club and like Uber my ass over to Echo Park to hang out with a friend because I want to explore that area and I don't live by there, and I want to meet new people and see if it's aligned. It's really important to show up. There's a helicopter. My way of showing up for myself is like really committing to like friendship, keeping those things on my schedule, and like trying not to cancel last minute as much as possible. And honestly, what's been life-changing is literally scheduling around your period. The week after your period is the most energized you'll be because of the hormones. Obviously during your period, it's a time for rest. Like I'm about to end mine and I'm like, okay, we're going to San Francisco. Like we're going and hanging out with friends. Like I feel like I will have the energy for those things, and like I do get pretty restless after my period. Really scheduling hangouts like after your period, not before, is one of the smartest things I've ever done for myself, to be honest with y'all. Does this look good? How does it look? They look like such a funny shape when I do it like this. Let me get in there. I just felt something drip. It's not good. I would also like to say that I've been watching Never Have I Ever, and I think the reason why friendship is on my mind nowadays is because I'm just wondering if I'm like a good friend. I could just ask my friends. And also with Never Have I Ever, you kind of witness this like teenage girl be a bad friend because she's going through grief. Yes, because she's going through something, but also she's realizing how to become a better friend through her friends. So that's a really important topic to me, and love Never Have I Ever. This is a tangent, but it's such a good depiction of like brown girl grief, and I'm so happy to be alive at the same time as Never Have I Ever. 10 minutes later. I've never had to do that on camera. That was silly. Let's take this off and continue. Oh, another thing that I've been doing in LA is literally like following up on people after our hangouts. Even if it was like our first time hanging out, like I'm still gonna text them and be like thanking them for their time, because I feel like that is what I'm learning in LA, is like the most valuable thing you can have nowadays is literally time. And like it's such a privilege to have time. When I give someone my time or they give me theirs, I feel so very grateful, because it's like that's one of the things that you literally can't get back. Learning that LA is just like a hustle and bustle of people, and like it's not personal when people need to reschedule or like they need to text me another time or are slow to respond. Like I don't take those things personal anymore. I feel like I used to, especially in undergrad. I've also been feeling really kind of invigorated by LA life in my social life. Like I remember just bopping around San Francisco and like going around all the time and hanging out in the same neighborhoods, but I didn't really explore it alone as much. I feel like LA it's really easy to explore alone, walk around without a car and like feel very free in that way. So I don't feel very invigorated by the nightlife out here. I feel SF kind of had a nightlife. That's kind of how I stayed friends with people. But in LA, it's really about like the walking clubs, the astrology clubs and meetups that I go to. It's like those one-off events at night that I sometimes go to. Like the other week, we saw JoJo Siwa for free, WeHo, and that shit was so fun. We literally stayed for like 30 minutes and that was great. And like, that's all I needed. I had so much fun just going out for 30 minutes sober as fuck. I've also been doing a lot of like online support groups, so definitely if you're having trouble finding like friends, it's so sweet to just find some online or like through Instagram. Follow this like Asian mental health one, and they have a sub group called Queer Asian Mental Health Club. We meet every few weeks and we just talk about like different topics, and it's just like really non-committal. It's kind of just like a peer support group and it's fun. It's led by like therapists and it's really fun. So that's something I prioritize in my life, especially like mental health, and also like walking clubs. I sometimes go to the Tierra Walking Club events. I've met the organizer and owner of the club, and she's really sweet. And last week we did like a yoga vibe by Canyon Coffee, and that was really cute. And I walked around by myself. That's in my last vlog, so if you want to check that out, because it was so cute. Maybe I'll just like watch the timer. Okay, wait, let's finish this up. This whole time about friendships, and this is my personal experience. Not sure if y'all can relate, but please let me know in the comments if you can relate to having like codependent, toxic friendships, and kind of just like, what have you learned about that? And also, what do you think we owe our friends nowadays, especially in this digital age where everything is literally social media, and like it's so easy to like skip a DM or like, yeah, let's hang out, and then never follow up ever. Like, so what do y'all think about what we owe our friends nowadays? We do owe our friends. I don't believe in the argument that we don't owe anyone anything. I feel like I believed that in college, and it was very empowering because it was really nice to feel angry for the first time in a very long time. I think we do owe each other things. I think we owe each other kindness. I think we owe each other presence and time, like especially in the moments where we can be with each other and feel present and make eye contact and have really good conversation. Like those moments are so important to me nowadays, and I feel like my time is just so precious. So I think that's what we owe our friends. I think we owe them time, our presence, emotional support when they're going through something. We owe each other whimsy. I feel like that's something I really value in my friendship, like being silly and goofy and not having to feel so committed to like seriousness or like talking about the state of the world and our mental health all the time, making up bits and like being silly and goofy and like watching SpongeBob on TikTok, because that's what we can do as adults now. Just heavy on being present, especially in the age of social media. It's like so important. So thank you guys for listening to my rant. I will show you guys what my eyebrows look like. I'm gonna take this off. I'm like doing laundry in between this. I'm trying not to triple multitask anymore because your brain literally can't physically handle it, but here I am bleaching my brows and talking to you guys. Also, this is starting to burn, so let's wipe it off. Oh yeah. Oh, she's a little red. I'm someone who has been in a lot of friendships. We do owe each other, whether it's compassion or just like literally silliness. Like we owe each other so much silliness, especially in this day and age. It is so hard to be a woman and a woman with healthy friendships. Like it takes work. Like you can't expect people to give you a healthy friendship if you don't also work on yourself. I feel like we owe that to our communities too, like working on ourselves and like making efforts to better ourselves, whether that's like meditating or reflecting or like literally reading a book. I just wanted to share my insights on friendships and what we owe each other. This is what my brows look like now. I'm excited and I think I really got it down, guys.
Alien-like.
Thank you so much for listening. I know this is kind of a rant and very casual vibes. Let me know if you like the casual yapping because this is definitely easier to film, and I'll see you guys next week or the week after because I'm still figuring out my posting schedule. So thank you for your patience. Bye.